From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's the single biggest day of forced stimulus news you've ever seen on this channel, as the president makes an counteroffer that signals away we go to forced stimulus by reconciliation. And then we also get the incredible letter written by the people who will do the forced stimulus bill, and they say they're going to put multiple stimulus checks in there. Wow, I'll have the incredible letter revealed late yesterday. It's all incredible great news. This is on top of the breaking news that happened this week, where they're calling for the vote potentially earlier than ever thought before. It's heating up, and it's heating up very well. Then we go to the fifth stimulus that comes this fall that will increase your SSI and SSDI benefits across the board, and the inflationary benchmark, why that number is actually going through the roof. And then in the middle of this recording, we go over the big money landing accounts for your bank account and could be landing as well today. It's a big morning with incredible great news as legislators say they're putting the forced stimulus check in there. This toast is toasted, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing. And finally, you can smell the stimulus checks on the burner, and it's the front burner. This is Early Mornings LALATE. Good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LALATE, and boy, I have never had an Early Mornings broadcast on forced stimulus where I'm so excited as today. Not one, not two, but three major developing details, two happening late yesterday, that signals that forced stimulus could come sooner than anticipated initially, and that the people that are doing the forced stimulus are saying they're putting the forced stimulus checks in there right away. Wow, it's incredible great news. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel, live in the morning and then taped in the afternoon. Coming up after this show is Mornings LALATE and then Mornings Crypto, both live, and great shows with great viewers. I want you to tune in for those shows as well. So subscribe. Also like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. 400,000 subscribers in a year. It's a YouTube record for a reason. Next stop, 1 million. Subscribe right now. In this video, we're going to go over the breaking details about forced stimulus. We're going to go over how much you're going to get as well. Then we're going to go over fifth stimulus in the second half of this recording. And in the middle, we're going to go over that big money land your bank account. I'm very excited. So let's get to the breaking details. First, let's go over the forced stimulus check, how much you're going to get, and why this week signaled that the Senate plan may look better than the House plan, and also why the House author's name is a name you need to know. The House proposal was written by Jalapal, and it now has become a household name on this channel. You'll hear more about Jalapal in just a second. Jalapal's House bill provides monthly stimulus checks. Those monthly stimulus checks are the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. More about that in a second. The Senate proposal is stimulus checks from now to July. Jalapal's plan or bill provides $2,000 the first month and then $1,000 every month thereafter for the stimulus check. The Senate plan, the amount monthly is unknown. If you're in the live chat watching at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, get ready to vote. I want to hear who you like, Senate versus House, but don't vote yet. Here we go. Wow. House, Senate, well, here we go. Word on the street says the Senate would pay potentially $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Incredible great news. Now let's go back to Jalapal and that pandemic plus 1 year. We're now seeing that potentially the pandemic will be over by the time of the vote of the forced stimulus package bill. That is, as of New York reopening its entire state this week. Yesterday, the city of New York opened a very first park, a floating park outside, out in the water. Quite beautiful. No masks, and society's getting back to normal. So if the pandemic's over by the time of the vote, there would be no pandemic plus year. Under Jalapal's House plan, there would just be 1 year. 12 months of stimulus checks, about $13,000. compared to the Senate plan, which is literally almost the same amount of money just in 6 months. So, wow, incredible great news. So now vote, Senate versus House, Senate versus House. I think you're going to say Senate. But more about forced stimulus checks right now. First, also, tell me where you're tuning in from. I love to see your comments, where you're watching, how's the weather. It's beautiful this morning here in Santa Monica. It may be a little bit warmer today, so we'll see what happens on mornings. But let's get to the other items under forced stimulus. Let's go over the other items you need to know about these monthly forced stimulus checks. First, when are you going to get it? They represent that the vote would be in July for the month of July, and then you would they would go out the door. So that means you would get this forced stimulus check in July, in August for August. It's a monthly stimulus check, so would it come in waves? No, it can't come in waves. It cannot come in different weeks of the month because it's a monthly. They got to get it out to everyone. Is it taxable? No, it's not income. Who gets it? You get the fourth stimulus check. So if you got the third stimulus check, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. And yes, if you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Rural Benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. Is it taken out for child support? We don't know that answer just yet. But there you go. That is your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. More update about fourth stimulus and the breaking news coming up in just a second. Very, very exciting, great news. But I want you to know that it's a 2-step, 2-bill, 2-month process currently underway. They have been writing the legislation, and ultimately, it's their representations. I'm just a news reporter. I'm reporting what they represent. But I have insanely great news for you about their latest move coming up in just a second. Let me give you a preview of the second half of this recording. There's a lot. This is a 30-minute recording, so get a pen and paper ready. I don't want you to miss a single minute across this video because I have a lot of money to get you in this video. At the second half of this video, we go over the fifth stimulus package, which increases your SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits, and adds an inflationary benchmark, which we now see may be a lot bigger than we initially thought. Wow, this is really exciting. I have all the details on this coming up later in this recording. But now let's circle back to the big money landing in your bank account, and some that you need to get right now. Wow. When third stimulus was passed, it provided about $350 billion to cities, counties, and states for you, but it had not been sent out. Now it's being sent out. It's last week and this coming week. So go get it. And what is it? First, rent, then utilities, then homeowners mortgage help and homeowners utility help. Where do you get it? Get that pen and paper ready. I'm going to give you the 6 locations. Each location has different qualifications, so don't worry if one says no, another one may say yes. They have different qualifications, and they have their different funds of money. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. Reach out and ask for money for rent. How much is it? It's a lot. It's about $5,000. About 4 to 6 months of rent. It's incredible, great news, so go get it. It's not second stimulus, which they already went through. This is third stimulus, so go get it. Then there's a couple $100, a couple $1,000 for utilities. And then there's money for mortgage help and homeowners utilities. Incredible, great news. About $5,000. Now, there's also about $15,000 to $16,000 for SNAP if you're a family 4 in Hawaii. Wow, that's $16,000 a year. Why so much? Because of 2 executive orders that now increase SNAP over 1 year up till December of this year. What is SNAP? It is money for food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Call up and ask for Department of Agriculture. Also call up 211 and ask for Department of Agriculture. What is this for? It's money for food, and it's upwards of $16,000 because of a Trump executive order and a Biden executive order, which increases 15% till December. So go get it. And wow, we're 9 minutes into this video. We've already gotten $5,000 for rent and about $15,000, $16,000 for SNAP. We are doing really, really well. But I got no less than 3 tough love moments right now. Tough love moment number 1 is that the money for SNAP and food and rent and utilities is the biggest payout ever for the viewers of this channel. I mean, it's $5,000 to $15,000, $20,000. When third stimulus came out, I said, I want you to get this money as soon as it's allocated out to the cities and counties and states because it's a huge payout. And now's the opportunity. Yeah, you got a $1,400 third stimulus check, but don't go from stimulus check to stimulus check. This money is available for you, so go get it. Second item is that's first come, first serve, and that's what became the expression Purple Hawk. Hawk, hawk. You need to get the money before anyone else and pounce before the stimulus stampede comes in and gets it. And finally, the third important detail, which is this is not coming back under fourth stimulus. So this money for rent and utilities and homeowners assistance is not coming back in fourth stimulus. And the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance are going away. Their concept was to provide you this money now so that they could lift the eviction moratorium in the next few weeks. So go get it. All right, time for some free money before the breaking news. The free money is coming from your state and the federal government. Let's go over the two of them. First, the free money from the states. States are returning thousands of dollars back to viewers of this channel. One viewer is getting $5,000. What is this? How are you getting it? And when are you getting it? Let me go over the details. First, what is this and how much is it? It's thousands of dollars. It's from your states. What's going on? States have been ordered by the federal government to return money that they asked for you to return to them. The federal government stepped in and said some states had sent you extra unemployment benefits due to computer malfeasance, no fault of your own, that asked you to return it back to them. The federal government says that's a mistake and you should have been allowed to keep the money. So the federal government has now ordered the states to return the money to you. Congratulations. How do you get the money? In the bank account that you had on file with the Department of Unemployment in your state. Finally, when are you getting the money? Every state is different. Some have started to pay it out. Others are taking their time. So reach out to your respective state to find out the routing times. That turns me now to the incredible great news from the federal government. There's thousands of dollars already landing in people's bank accounts. Viewers have already gotten. One got $2,000 from IRS and Treasury. It's incredible great news. So let's go over how much it is, how you're going to get it, and when you're going to get it. First, how much is it? It is the taxes you paid on your unemployment to the IRS. So here's an example. Let's say you paid $9,000. You had $9,000 of unemployment. You paid $5,000 of a total tax bill to IRS. $4,000 of that is now being returned back to you automatically. Congratulations. So how? In the mailbox, in a beige or white envelope. Inside the envelope will be a yellow check from IRS or Treasury to you that is that return of that money. Congratulations. The only people who will get by direct deposit are people who have that direct deposit listed on their 2020 tax return. And there you go. Then finally, the big question is when. Three phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. Phase 1 are single individuals with uncomplicated tax returns, no dependents, no other refunds. You're getting the stimulus checks last week. A few of you may get it next week, but you're generally last week. Then this coming week is Phase 2, the continuation of Phase 2. Those are single filers who have complicated returns. And then the last week of this month will be Phase 3, joint filers, husband and wife, and married couple. Incredible great news. So now let's turn to the breaking, shocking, incredible great news about fourth stimulus. This breaking news is coming in three parts. Let's go in reverse chronologically about the breaking news. Late yesterday, we got word of an incredible letter written to the President of the United States by 7 members of the House Subcommittee on Ways and Means to the president saying there has to be fourth stimulus checks. Everyone has told you in the Congress they want multiple reoccurring fourth stimulus checks. And we are going to put those multiple fourth reoccurring stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow. So why the House Ways and Means Committee? This is significant. The House Ways and Means Committee is the subcommittee that could potentially put stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package because it's their subject, it's their purview, it's for their committee. That is what they do. Remember, multiple stimulus checks can be done two ways: either by during the vote-a-rama in the Senate, those final 2 days, by amendment, or being put in by the House. But which House subcommittee would put the monthly stimulus checks in there? House Ways and Means. And of that very small subcommittee, 7 members wrote the president that letter saying, you got to put it in there. You got to put those monthly stimulus checks in there. Wow. So that's about as good as you get. The letter also talks about the prior occurrences where House members, Senate members have introduced bills or written the president or Speaker Pelosi or Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Speaker Pelosi or Leader Schumer and said there will be monthly stimulus checks. So they remind the president of the history of the monthly stimulus checks. Incredible, great news. Then, right before this letter came out, we also heard from the president as to his counteroffer to the Republicans. The Republicans, when the fourth stimulus package first debuted, said, we'll give you $500 billion. The president, I'm not doing $500 billion. My bill is $2.3 trillion. Why would I do $500 billion? He said, come back to me with a counteroffer. They did, $500 billion. Then again, $500 billion. So what the president has done is waited for a decent counterproposal, which he's not going to get. And he's doing this just for optics. So what did he do late yesterday? He did a counterproposal. Instead of $2.3 trillion, he, quote, came down. It's not really coming down. I'll show you in a second. To $1.9 trillion. So he didn't really come down. What he did was he took out $600 billion and said, well, I'm putting that into other bills that are already going to vote. So they're almost finished. So I don't need it in this bill. And then the day before came the Jalapal letter. Yes, Jalapal. So remember early in this recording, I talked to you about Jalapal, who wrote the bill for the monthly stimulus checks in the House. And when Jalapal wrote that bill, over 100 House and senators proposed wrote their support in favor of Jalapal in a letter to the president. And that is incredible. So what did Jalapal's letter say? Jalapal's letter basically said this week to Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi, call the vote. Call the vote. What are we waiting for? There's nothing to wait around for the Republicans anymore. Call the vote. This is incredible, great news. So does that mean there could potentially be a vote earlier? Yes. Speaker Pelosi has represented the vote would be by July 4th. By is the important word, not on July 4th, but by July 4th. But here's what's important to know is that these leaders don't really care to be in Washington in July. They'd rather be out of there in June. They'd rather be done with this in June. So by all accounts, if they get it done in June, it could be an extra stimulus check to you. We'll be tracking this developing details. But guess what? The congressional leaders were not going to stay silent on the subject matter at all. They came to press this week, and they said, guess what? We ain't going to wait around any longer. It's time to call the vote. Who are we waiting around for? The bills have already been written. They were written a long time ago. And here come the comments. Senator, not House member, but Senator Kristen Gillibrand, Democrat out of New York, said, when asked, should we wait for the Republicans to call the vote on recon? She said, absolutely not, because we may lose our coalition for human infrastructure. I don't think the White House should relegate recovery to the judgment of Mitch McConnell because he would not function in good faith. They're not. And then came Ruben Gallego, a Democrat out of Arizona, says, Republicans are not even being players. Democrats should have just moved forward without them. And then came the incredible comment from Representative Mark Pocan, who is a Democrat from Wisconsin. He says, at what point do Republicans come to the table? If Republicans don't come to the table, it doesn't mean Democrats don't serve the meal. And then we get to Senator Majority Whip Dick Durbin. Says, Democrats ought to have a timely negotiations with the Republicans, but be prepared to finish with the reconciliation. Amen. And then finally, Ro Khanna, Democrat from California, who never minces words, said, I think it's time to move forward on the reconciliation bill. Wow, wow, wow. Collectively, what's going on? Is the president has told all his staffers and his legislators that he's going to continue to have lunches with the Republicans all the way up to Memorial Day weekend, which one viewer said, but that's September. No, it's May. That's Labor Day. Memorial Day weekend. And why is he having these lunches? Just for optics. The counter proposal on Friday, which was sort of, you know what the expression is, a yes, you effort towards the Republicans, was just to say that he's making the effort. He's going to have these daily lunches with the Republicans all the way up to Memorial Day weekend. As one viewer said, he's very hungry. He's going to just keep on having these lunches. But in the meantime, he knows it's going by recon. He absolutely knows it's going by recon. The legislators have already said they finished the recon writing. And so the vote will follow right after that. So get ready for the vote, get ready for the push. And with just days away from Memorial Weekend, this is getting very exciting very quickly. And I'm really, really excited for you. Coming up in the second half of this recording, more about forced stimulus and also a surprising detail that was in that letter. Yes, there's another surprise that's coming up. Also, in the second half of this video, we go over fifth stimulus, that big money. But first, if you need help with rent, utilities, homeowners assistance, and homeowners utility bills, reach out to the volunteers. They're on the community page, which is located in the description to this video. Open the description, look for an emoji of a house, then see the word community page. It sends you to the webpage, news.la.com/community. On the community page, you can reach out to the volunteers. They're separated from Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and they'll get you help if you can't find it. I'll be back in 60 seconds with all those exciting great news about fourth and fifth stimulus. Stay with me. I'll be back shortly. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LA with big exciting news still about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus still coming up. How are you? Where are you watching? Drop in the comments where you're watching from this morning and how's the weather. I'm here in Santa Monica and it's sunny, as you can tell, but it's relatively cool. See how it heats up later today. This is LALATE, and I want you part of this family. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, a YouTube record. Next up, 1 million. Get us there. Subscribe right now. Also like this video. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. After the show, jump into the live chat on Crypto Overnight. That's a 10-hour show. It's chatting up right now. It's a live feed. Join that show right after this one. But boy, I still have big developing details coming up in this video. Let's cut to fifth stimulus and the exciting great details that heated up all weekend long, and we are far from over on this heat for fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus would provide SSI and SSDI reform. Let's go over broadly what it is and then the specifics. So they'll raise your benefit limits, remove the asset limits, add an inflationary benchmark, then remove the income exclusion, and then remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over what happened and how you need to know that this is what's going on with this. So really fascinating. What's at issue here for SSI and SSDI is basically first raising up your benefits. Who's you? You. So if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, survivor benefits, all your benefits will be raised up one big time. Incredible, great news. Then they'll tie your benefits to a new benchmark, and a benchmark is inflation. What's a benchmark? So every December you get a letter that says next year your benefits are going up $5, $20, or staying the same. The benchmark in the past has been different. The new benchmark will be inflation. So we've been trying to find that place of where inflation will be. And a week ago, yesterday, we had an analyst who came out and said inflation will be 20% in December. I don't know if other people agree with that. On Thursday, one of the Fed heads out of Georgia, the Fed head of the regional division there, said he would not tell you what the inflationary rate is because he doesn't want to get fired by his boss, but said he'll tell you what the growth rate is. That's currently 4% growth, and he expects it to go to 10.5% in December. That is a big change. That signals something like a 5 to 7%. And then yesterday and the day before, we had a series of analysts come out and say, it's probably going to be far more than 2 or 3% inflation. So it looks like we're pushing around a 5 to 7% inflation by December. It's early to tell still because it's months away. But this would be incredible, great news for you. Here's an example of how it would work. You would get a new benefits lifted up in a fifth stimulus. And then in December, if the inflation rate is 7%, for example, your benefits would raise up another 7%. And that's lifetime. Remember, it steps up or stays flat. So if it's 7% now and next year it's 0, it doesn't step down. It just stays at 7. If next year it's 1, then it's 1% on top of the 7. Incredible, great news. What else is in the fifth stimulus? Well, they're going to remove the asset cap. So if you want to keep more than $3,000 on hand, currently the limit, you can. Good news when you have stimulus checks coming. Then they're going to remove the income cap. If you want to go work and you want to, you don't have to. You can. You can bring in $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month and still stay on benefits. Incredible, great news. And then finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. Oh, boy. It is very old and very bad. If you want to get married, you can't because you're afraid of losing your benefits. And if you did get married, you lost your benefits, well, the marriage penalty is going away. And it's great news because love will win. You'll be able to marry your lifetime partner and not lose benefits. So that's your fifth stimulus. Very great news. When is it going to heat up? 2-bill, 2-month, 2-step process starting in September. Likely to impact your benefits around November-ish. And then the benchmark will kick in January. Great news across the board. So let's go back to fourth stimulus and what is the other really big surprising detail? Well, I got surprises galore. Not only is Talapal saying, stop waiting any longer, call the vote. And those senators and House members saying, stop waiting any longer, call the vote. And the president saying, well, after Memorial Day weekend, I'm not spending one more minute. You can go do what you want to do. Remember, he doesn't write the bill. He doesn't draft the bill. He doesn't even call the vote. It's up to his legislators. But they're giving him deference until that Memorial Day weekend. And we now see that we have Jalapal's standalone bill. We have the senators' push for monthly stimulus checks. We have 100-plus members of both the House and the Senate saying that they're going to put in multiple stimulus checks. And now we have 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee writing a letter this week saying they're putting it in and they're the committee that actually is responsible for stimulus checks. It's getting really great news. So what could be better than this? Unemployment surprise. Yeah. Out of nowhere, that same letter for those 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee, which also oversees unemployment, says that they think they're going to put in unemployment extensions in for stimulus. Wait a second. That's something I've been reporting that is likely dead. Yes, so this is a real shocker. Now, it's unclear how this is going to play out. It's very early in the analysis on this. Why? Here's what you need to know. What are the federal instruments they could extend? Well, they could extend PEUC, which gives you additional weeks of UI. They could extend PUA, which is the program which establishes benefits for people who are not employees, like an Uber Lyft driver. Even though there is a Ron Wyden, he's a senator, he's not a House member, here's a Ron Wyden standalone bill to create an institution for it, which I think makes a lot of sense, because when the pandemic's eventually over, you can't have PUA go away. You have to have something for these people, and that's what he wants to fix. And then there's FPUC, and FPUC really just got smack left and right this week. Why? 20 states where the Republicans, where the governor is Republican, have ended FPUC. And people have been asking, how can they do that? Well, the Department of Labor looked into it and basically is saying that they can do it. FPUC is elective. It's voluntary. States do not have to do FPUC. So do states have to do PEUC? Do states have to do PUA? I think that's a little bit different. So, of course, that's my opinion. It's not the Department of Labor's opinion. I don't know what the Department of Labor would say if PUA and PEUC are extended, when we already know that they don't think the federal government can require states to carry FPUC. But boy, that is exciting, great news. So let's recap. Fourth stimulus is the multiple stimulus checks is to provide relief for people who are behind on their bills. You may be back at work. You may have a job and back at work, but you're behind on the bills. And that's why they want those multiple stimulus checks until you're caught up on your bills. Incredible great news. When we're talking about rental stimulus, that's likely not coming back at the moment because we've heard nothing about extending the eviction moratorium or mortgage forbearance. But now unemployment assistance, that's becoming a surprise. Maybe it's coming back, maybe it's not. That's the federal unemployment assistance. Really exciting news. But the big exciting news is the Jalapal letter, the House Ways and Means letter, and everything else that they have said over and over again about monthly stimulus checks. And with that, I'm so excited for you. Join me on Mornings LA. I'll have more details about what's going on because there's a lot going on, as you see. Also, like this video, subscribe. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe video. Share these videos on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, and elsewhere. And consider becoming a member. Get access to all the PDFs, like these letters, the links at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. Stay informed, stay focused. Jump into that live show now underway on the channel as well. And I'm in that live chat as well, all around the clock. So stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, keep on pushing, and have a beautiful morning, and stay with LA.